Hello, welcome everybody to the Web3 and AI business show brought to you by TokenMinds. My name is Rob, and today as a guest I have Hamang. Hi Hamang, welcome.
Hi Rob and hi everyone. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, welcome back. Today we're again going to talk about blockchain development, in this case specifically for Web3 game development, which actually is one of the fastest growing parts of the blockchain space, projected to be $300 billion market by 2030. So, Haman, can you maybe start with explaining for our audience what do we mean when we say Web3 games? What are Web3 games?
Yep, definitely. So when we say Web3 games, so it is a kind of bit different from our traditional gaming. So in the Web2 gaming, as we come to definition of the Web3, it's like you own what you play. And in the Web3 games, you are basically interacting with the players and with all of the things which you can own. You have the ownership of the assets, and you can even earn while playing. So it's a bit different as compared to the traditional gaming because you have ability to earn via cryptos, you have ownership via NFTs, and you basically have the ability to have all the tangible assets in form of the NFTs, and you can then trade it, you can sell it, you can lease it in game options. So all of these kind of create a narrative around the Web3 gaming.
And when we're talking about the technical side, the blockchain development side, what kind of technologies are basically covered within the Web3 game development space? What kind of blockchains and what kind of other services technically are we including in this?
Yep, definitely. So when we talk about the technical side, let's be a bit there. So there are different kinds of blockchains. So few of the blockchains are called EVM based, which are Ethereum virtual machines. So blockchain which are based on the Ethereum, they can be included in the games. We have seen largely a very large growth on the Solana based games because Solana is very fast. The transition is happening very, very fast. So we can see a good amount of games happening there. And then other than that, there's also a one interesting blockchain, or rather, it's called a hash graph. It's called Hedera. So Hedera is one of the fastest becoming hash graph or blockchain. It's similar to a blockchain, but it's also in the same radar, which is also seeing a lot of enhancement with the games and everything. So this is one of the things when we say about the network. Then comes the other part, which is when you have to store your game assets. You might have to store your game assets into the IPFS cloud. So that is a side of the cloud, and then the underlying tech by which you are able to develop a game in itself. So that's when you include the tech stacks of the Solidity and Rust and etc. So all of these together create the ecosystem around which Web3 games are formed.
Yeah, and obviously the wallet technologies and the IPFS service for decentralized hosting of different gaming assets. So for the audience, we are going through one of the guides published on the TokenMinds blog. So everything we're discussing here you can find there and more. But for now, let's go into some of the challenges around developing on Web3 technologies for games. Can you get into that a little bit, Mao?
Yep, sure, definitely. So one of the most biggest challenge about the developing games in terms of blockchain is when people are not able to understand how to bring the Web 2 to the Web 3. So it includes the possibilities of understanding which blockchain is the best for a product, because there are some blockchains out there which might be very, very fascinating and fancy for the other products, but if you want to include it into your game, the first step is to identifying the right blockchain where your user base is, where you have high liquidity. Then comes the part of integrating your gaming with the web technologies, like integrating a wallet in the top of it, a hard wallet or a cold wallet, and then creating the smart contracts which are secure, because we see that the smart contracts are an immutable code which cannot be changed, and there are lots of hacks happening. So you need to also be ensure about the security of the smart contract, and that poses a very high technical challenge, because some of the smart contracts, if there are any risks, then it can be hacked. And so basically a well defined smart contract which is bug free, which is risk free, that becomes one of the challenges to operate on the top of the blockchain. But when we are talking with a firm who are experienced in developing all these kind of things, it becomes very easy to get the hold of these things. And then there are also the concerns of the scalability. So for this, uh, like I said earlier, choosing the right kind of blockchain, like if you want to hold it on an L1, L2, or Solana, or any other machine, or anything else. So these are all the challenges. And also then comes other part, like the regulatory challenges, where you want to regulation, like if you're the type of game that you're developing, if it is sanctioned for a certain, like a particular region or not. And then comes a part of the user adoption. When you have used your game, you need to also make sure like your users also know how to work on those things. So that's a side of the education, where the players, they also need to understand how to interact with the game when they are out on the Web3, because it requires wallet, it requires assets, it requires trading. So creating a community around it. So all of these include challenges, but the challenges are not that it cannot be overcome. It can be easily overcome. So yeah, that's pretty much around it.
Yeah, and I think talking about the adoption from the user side to get familiar with these technologies, including wallets and things. Um, we talked before the podcast a little bit on the prediction markets, so that's bringing in users and getting them familiar with these technologies that can be applied for Web3 gaming as well. So there's just a strong growth in that as well. And as you mentioned, some of the challenges around performance issues, scalability, they're becoming less and less so with the newest technologies, including Hydera and others, or layer two blockchains, or other types of infrastructures that make this eligible for game development. So the future is quite bright for this particular area of blockchain development. And again, if you have questions, please feel free to contact TokenMinds or go to this article right here on Web3 game development on our blog. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.